Good morning, students. So today we are going to start our next topic, and that is factors affecting photosynthesis. As all of you know very well, students, photosynthesis is a physico-chemical reaction. It is not a simplest type of reaction, but it is a complex one. And it has two phases broadly. These are the light phase, which is also known as the photochemical phase, and the second one is known as the dark phase, which is also called as the biosynthetic phase. So here in this topic, I am going to tell you that this complex reaction, which is called photosynthesis, is regulated by various kind of factors. So all of these factors, they have a significant effect on the role what they play in case of photosynthesis. So here we will study that how these factors they affect the rate of photosynthesis. The students, photosynthesis is under the influence of several type of factors. Some of these factors are the internal plant factors, whereas the other category is of the external factors. So first I am going to tell you about the internal plant factors. So here you must take it in your mind, student. There are so many things that are present in a plant. For example, the number of leaves, that how many number of leaves are there in the tree. What is the size of the lamina of the leaf? What is the age of the leaf? Whether the leaf is an old one or the leaf is a young leaf. If the leaf is a young leaf, this means the rate of photosynthesis is more. And if it is an older one, this means it play very less role in photosynthesis. Next is the concentration of the mesophyll cells that are present in the leaves. If so many mesophyll cells are present and all of these, they aligned themselves parallel to the direction of the incident light, then that means the rate of photosynthesis, it is more. The number of chloroplast organelles present in the leaf, as many chloroplast organelles are there, as many is the number of chlorophyll pigment. And so the rate of light harvesting is also more, and thus the rate of photosynthesis too. Next one is internal carbon dioxide concentration inside the mesophyll cells. As you know very well, we have two types of plants, C3 plant and C4 plants. And the carbon dioxide is always a limiting factor in case of C3 plants, as the enzyme Rubisco, which is the chief enzyme of fixation of carbon dioxide. Though it has much affinity for carbon dioxide, but sometimes when the partial pressure of oxygen is more, this enzyme behaves as an oxygenase enzyme. So in that case, the carbon dioxide molecules, they get free, they cannot be fixed by this enzyme, and lesser amount of carbohydrates are formed. Whereas in case of C4 plants, always the concentration of carbon dioxide is more because of the presence of bundle sheath cells, whose numerous layers surround the vascular bundles, and their walls are thick and they are impermeable to gaseous exchange. So Rubisco enzyme has no other option. It must have to be bind with that carbon dioxide. And the next one is amount of chlorophyll. As I have already discussed, if the number of chloroplast organelles are more, then definitely it also increases the concentration of chlorophyll pigment. The second type of factors that affect the rate of photosynthesis, these are the external factors, students. So as I have already told you that internal factors are actually present in the plant because of some genetic predisposition. That is, they are regulated by specific type of genes, and because of that, the constitution of different plant organs are as like. But external factors, they are actually the physical factors. For example, how much sunlight is available to the plant, that will decide. And it is also important whether the plant is a C3 plant or it is a C4 plant, because you know very well that C4 plants, they can absorb more amount of sunlight as compared to C3 plants. Next one is the concentration of the carbon dioxide gas. So as you know, the C3 plant, they show a significant concentration, or you can say rate of photosynthesis at low light intensities. When the concentration of carbon dioxide increases, so definitely there is an increase in the rate of photosynthesis. In case of C3 as well as in C4 plant, whereas in C4 plant, the fixation of carbon dioxide is more as compared to the fixation of carbon dioxide in case of C3 plants. Okay, student, here I am going to tell you a very important law that was given by the scientist Blackman in the year 1905. What Blackman said, if a chemical process or a chemical reaction, it is affected by more than one factor, then its rate will be determined by the factor which is nearest to its minimal value. So it is the factor which directly affects the process if the quantity is changed. How can you explain this law that if in place of a chemical process, here I am giving the example of photosynthesis, and if you know very well that the rate of carbon dioxide is not very high in the atmosphere, it is approximately 0.03 to 0.04, or hardly it increases to 0.05%. So if there is a decrease in the concentration of carbon dioxide to its minimum possible value, and it goes beyond, very less, beyond its minimal value, then this means it definitely affects the rate of photosynthesis, because that factor which later drops down from its minimal value, it is the factor that play a significant role, and it affects the rate of that particular chemical reaction. Yes, student, here I am going to discuss all the factors which are playing important role in affecting the rate of photosynthesis. So among the external factor, the first factor is light. So whenever we talk about light, we mean always to light intensity, that how intense is the light radiations. The quality of the light is very important. As you know very well, photosynthesis always takes place more in blue and red light as compared to the colors that is corresponding to different wavelength. So the photosynthesis also takes place in those colors too, but the rate of photosynthesis is less corresponding to those wavelengths. Then the light quality, I have already told you the example. The duration of exposure of light means there are different kind of plants. It may be long day plant, short day plant, or day neutral plants. So all of these plants, they absorb light up to a particular duration. As you know that long day plants, they receive more and more light throughout the day, whereas the midday plant, they receive light up to a optimum level, and the short day plant, they do not require much light. So here one graph is given in your book in which it is shown that the rate of carbon dioxide fixation at low light intensities, it shows a linear relationship with the incident light. So whenever the light rays, they incident on the lamina of the leaves, and if the carbon dioxide fixation, it takes place at low light intensities, then its relation with the incident light, it approximately reaches a linear relationship. And later on, if there is an increase in the light intensities, then there is no further increase in carbon dioxide fixation, because as you know that C3 plants, they have an optimum level up to which they can absorb light, and at high light intensities, there a saturation takes place. The photooxidation of chlorophyll pigment takes place, which results in breakage of chlorophyll E. Whereas in C4 plants, they can absorb light up to high light intensities. But both of these plants, there is an increase in the rate of carbon dioxide fixation with a high light intensities, but up to a particular level. In case of, if we are talking about these C3 plants, their saturation point comes at very less value, whereas the saturation point in case of C4 plants for light intensity, it comes at higher value. So here we have written that increase in incident light beyond a point causes a breakdown of the chlorophyll and decrease in the rate of photosynthesis. Here I want to give one example. If we are talking about the forest ecosystem, then you know that there are some trees which have a very high height, and those trees whose heights is very large, in that case they also bear very tall height is there, and they have also a big canopy. So there are some other plants which comes under the shade of these trees. As more light is not available to these plants which have shorter height, so they generally do the fixation of carbon dioxide at low light intensities according to the light available to them. Yes, student, the next factor is carbon dioxide concentration. As I have already discussed, like other gases which are present in the atmosphere, the carbon dioxide gas, it does not have a very high concentration in the atmosphere. As you have learned one pie diagram in your lower classes regarding the distribution of various gases present in the atmosphere, here you have learned that the maximum concentration is of nitrogen gas. Then next to nitrogen we have oxygen gas, and the concentration of carbon dioxide gas is very low in the atmosphere, between 0.03 to 0.4%. So increase in the concentration up to 0.05%, it can cause an increase in carbon dioxide fixation rate. But beyond this level, if the carbon dioxide concentration it still increase, then it have a damaging effect for a longer period. So here also the C3 and C4 plants, they show differently. They behave differently to high carbon dioxide conditions. As low light intensity, neither of these group, whether it is a C3 or C4 group, they respond to high carbon dioxide conditions. But if the light intensity is high, then both C3 and C4 plants, they show an increase in the rate of photosynthesis. So I have already discussed the C3 plants, as they cannot absorb much amount of light. So their saturation takes place at 360. Whereas in case of C4 plant, this saturation, it finally reaches the value 450. Thus the carbon dioxide, it always acts as a limiting factor for C3 plants. And C3 plants respond higher carbon dioxide concentration by showing increased rate of photosynthesis, which later leads to higher productivity. Whereas the carbon dioxide concentration never acts as a limiting factor for the C4 plant due to the presence of bundle sheath cells and Robisco enzyme in these cells. Okay, student, the third very important factor is temperature. As you know that the photosynthesis has two types of phases, light reactions and dark reactions. So here the temperature have a direct influence over the dark phase of the photosynthesis. As you know very well, these dark reactions, they are actually the enzyme controlled reaction, enzymatic in nature. And the light reactions, they also show sensitivity towards a temperature, as they are affected to a much lesser extent. But the dark reactions, they are totally affected, because here the enzymes are involved, and these enzymes, they are actually the proteins. So if the temperature is raised, then the denaturation of the enzyme takes place, and the enzyme cannot work or catalyze a particular reaction. So temperature optimum for photosynthesis of different plant, it also depends upon the type of the habitat in which the plant grows. If the plant is growing in such a habitat where the temperature conditions is very high, in that case the plants, they also absorb large amount of energy and show photosynthesis increased rate. Whereas those plants which are generally growing at a low range of temperature, here the rate of productivity of biomass or photosynthesis is comparatively less. So here we can give the example of tropical plants. Tropical plants always have high temperature optimum, and whereas the temperate plants, they are adapted to somewhat low temperature optimums. Yes, student, the last and very important factor that affect the rate of photosynthesis is water. As you know very well, you have learned the classical equation of photosynthesis. Here, 6 molecules of carbon dioxide always react with 12 molecules of water, and it gives C6H12O6. So water is also an important reactant as carbon dioxide. And beside acting here as a reactant, this water also have a direct effect on the rate of photosynthesis. Water stress, it causes the stomata of the leaves to close, and in this way, if the stomata it get closed, then there is no gaseous exchange, no carbon dioxide enters into the leaves, and thus it affects the rate of photosynthesis. And there is one major effect of water on plants is that water stress always makes the leaves of plant wilt. So it enhances the process of wilting in plants. And in this way, the leaves of the plants, they get drooped, which decreases the surface area of the lamina. So because of drooping of the leaves, more of the mesophyll cells cannot participate in light harvesting. And this directly influence or affect the rate of photosynthesis. Yes, student, in today's lecture, we have to study up to the factors only. And in my upcoming lecture, I will tell you and explain a very important theory. In place of theory, you can say it is a hypothesis. And that hypothesis is a chemiosmotic hypothesis. So we will learn about chemiosmotic hypothesis in tomorrow's lecture. So that's all in today's lecture, student. Have a nice day and read your chapter here.